In this video, I'm going to show you how to place the front parking brake cable on this Ford Excursion. This is what connects your parking brake pedal assembly to the rest of the parking brake system. Let's get started. From underneath the vehicle, we have two options here. We can either start by disconnecting this. However, disconnecting this will be a lot more challenging when it's rusty and there's a little bit of tension on it. So what I'm going to do is actually just cut the cable right here. This is our front cable. Then we'll deal with disconnecting the union here once the cable is freed up. All right, there we go. Now let's move over to removing the front part of our cable. Let's remove this trim piece that sits at the base of the door on the inside. Take a trim tool and pop it straight up. Set this aside. Now from the inside, we'll have to remove this panel. It's got a push clip here that locks it in, so stick a trim tool in and remove it. With that set aside, you'll be able to pull this plastic panel outward and then back towards the door, just like this. Now that we have the cable disconnected at the bottom and there's slack in it, press the pedal all the way down. I'm going to use a pick just to grab the cable and pull it just enough to bring it through this groove, wiggle it and slip it through, just like that. Now the pedal doesn't really matter what you do with it, but I will bring it up partially just so that it's out of my way on the bottom. And speaking of the bottom right here, you're going to have to push this cable down and through the assembly in order to get it through the floor, but it also has to pop the grommet out of the floorboard. So I'm going to gently push that grommet through. I'm going to grab the cable from underneath and try to pull it through. This will hopefully get the rest of the grommet out of there. There we go. And slide the cable out, just like this. Okay, push that down. All right. At this point, we have to remove the cable from the front, and mine is kind of rusty, so I'm going to try to scrape off the edges so I can see what's happening. It looks like I have a little plastic retainer that's around here that locks it, and the rest of the cable is just pushed through this opening. I'm just going to wiggle it back and forth till it pops free. There we go. And take this out. Perfect. Set that cable aside. Now slide the end of the cable right through the floor. Just like that. Line up your grommet. And stick it through. Now on this end, the end of the cable is going to have to kind of go at an angle to pop in here. And then we'll have to, there we go, slide it all the way up. We'll have to lock the sheathing at the base right here. So just keep pushing it up until it's fully locked in. All right, cable's locked in. Or the sheathing, I should say. Now the cable itself needs to go up. Just keep feeding it upwards. You'll see it pop up there. Once it's at the top, just take it and curve it down so that it can follow the path of the parking brake pedal. There it is. Now when you hook it in, you want to make sure that it follows the groove that it's supposed to ride in. So just hook it in like that, push it backwards, and make sure that it's going to stay right in this groove. Pull it down. Naturally, it'll want to fall into position, and push the pedal back up. We'll pull it down on the other end, double check it. Everything looks good here. Let's slide in this cover. Make sure you line up the push clip hole. Tap it to lock it in. It's got a couple metal clips on the inside here, and push this through all the way. Double check that everything is in position, and it is. Let's put this piece back on. Line it up with all the tabs that it's supposed to lock into. Make sure you don't press down on it until you're sure, otherwise it's going to break them. Take your new cable, slide it through. Make sure it goes through both of these openings, just like that. And push it in order to lock it. All right, that's locked in. So now to connect it on this end, we just have to take off our piece that we cut. But since it's cut, we can actually lower it and work a little bit closer to the ground. Now, if you're able to, take a pair of locking pliers, clamp this cable, or the center cable, up onto the body of the vehicle right here. And then what you can do is take a small punch, go right in the center here, and punch this through. Try to keep it right next to the cable. And there it is. So now we'll have to move this a little bit, just because we need to get it a little bit closer to this end so we can secure that in. You may need to pull a little bit on that cable, on both ends that is. And once you lock it in, you can let go. And there it is. But that's not the end of it, because we have to flip it around and punch that tab right in so we can actually lock it permanently. So I'm going to lock that. So now up here, we're going to take this punch and gently punch in that tab that we pried out on earlier. You really don't need much. You just need it to prevent that from coming out. And there it is. It's locked. Take this out, and the front cable is replaced.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.